Hi everybody, it's Colin here from Woodthorp International. Just showing you Japan running round. We've got the E7 running at the moment. Just reprogrammed the speed check into it. It's not running at full speed because you won't see it really. Flashing past there. But today I've got 7 locos running, but only 4 trains, because I've got a triple headed here, all programmed and running nicely at the same speed, and then I've got a pair running together, so double headed, and then I've got that train, the Operation North Pole running on one line, and then Japan running down on the bottom line. Now I've learned some stuff. It's all about learning. When you speed measure your trains, you usually do it separate. But what I did with these two, I ran them front and back like they are, and speed measured them together because they're a duo, and I tested them just running on the same piece of track, and they were keeping, they were running really spot on. So I actually measured 2 at the same time because they'll always run in pairs, will them? If I want to run them singly, I can. But the CSXs over there, I programmed them separately. And what was interesting, so I programmed the CSXs all separate, because I do know they don't all run the same. If you just put them on all the track together and put them on full speed, they run all differently. But what is interesting, the front one is the leader when you actually control it on iTrains. You say there's another one and then this one. But what is actually very interesting is the CVs for making those two stop at the 100 millimeter mark, which is about here, because that's where I test it, running from other blocks into here. This now will stop somewhere round about here. But all 3, when they run independently, all stop round about here. But because the front one is the main train, it's working with the CVs what are in here, and the milliseconds you alter your train to stop exactly where it should on the measurement. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the train to always stop here, but if I take them all apart and test them individually, they all do stop here. It's because the leader is taking note of the other engine's ability, basically, and to get, say, CSX number 700 to stop there, I might have to have the milliseconds and a CV at a certain number, but the leader, CSX 754, is a different set of numbers. So because they're designed to all iTrains tries to help them, so this one doesn't keep running when them two have stopped. It adjusts things in its computer brain and stops them all together. But it uses say the lowest or the highest, I don't know which way it is to tell you the truth, to get it to stop here. But because the leader is following the other ones, it stops over it, and it always stops in the same place. If I was just to take the leader off and have the front two on, it would stop over here, because I know those last two, the second and third engine, run differently. And as you know, possibly what it is, it'll be the one what's going backwards, because as you know, engines run different going forward and backwards. Some are faster going backwards, some aren't, because we tend to drive them in the forward direction more, so they loosen up. But I just found that very fascinating. So it just shows what you can do doing double-headed, that it doesn't put any strain on the engines or anything. It just helps to adjust it. Now, as you know how my layout is, it's a continuous loop, and I've done it in such a way I can walk and get to all the layout without crawling underneath, and that includes doing the wiring. But because there's bits like here where they're near each other, and here there's trains running around here, what I've done is I've hired the land in this area, because when it goes up into the mountain here, I thought I'll be able to get away with it. So basically when I'm filming, I can't see the train what's running round the back, unless I want to. I may go and film it down like that, but I won't be able to see the front edge. And I just thought I'll put this on, carve it a little bit, and then I can decorate it up and stuff like that. And that stopped there because the CSX has stopped in that block, and its goods trains are all told to stop in this block from here to here. Sorry, I've just some cleaner. I'm just cleaning the track. I've altered the speed of going over the bridge. It was going over at 40 mile an hour. I've reduced it to 30 mile an hour. I just thought that might look better. What I'm thinking of here is putting the tunnel mouth somewhere around here for the exit out off the helix, and then I'm just going to run the land across here somewhere and just have this built up here in this area here, built up, so again you can't see directly trains running on here. Like if I have the camera set up here, see this one stopped at the 100 mil, not where the CSX was stopping. If I've got a camera set up, I don't want to have this train or some coaches go past and within a couple of seconds it runs back over there. So I'm wanting to block it, like here I'm going to not raise it, maybe a little bit, but plenty of trees on here because of all this area being woodland, and there'll be a sidings here for loading the logs and stuff, or what they would have done, because this is all going to be heritage area. And I've been looking into what materials I can do for building this this mountain, what's going to go from here virtually right up to the white stuff, and it'll just drop down, because I'm going to have a bit of flat on the top, because I've been re-watching the videos from the 1900s, what someone changed into YouTube format, and it's great to see the old timers doing the work. And there's naturally a bit of flat land, it doesn't just go to a peak or anything like that. So I'm going to have some maybe buildings on top. So again, like here, I just, if I've got train running here, I don't want to be filming that going past, and then all of a sudden it's going past in front of it if I catch it here. So I'm just trying to make it as real as I can, but I would prefer it like I'm doing, then I'm not doing any crawling on the floor to get into the middle or anything like that. Right, I've just taken control of this set of 3, because I want it to go down the helix a little bit, but I'm going to control it. And just to show you how easy it is, all I do on here is put the leading train on. So that's all I drive on here. If I'll show you on here, there's a train there, and if I go into trains, if you actually load, which you need to do for automatic running, all the engines, like that one's the leader, then that one's going backwards, then the wagons, it gives you the length of what it is for doing automatic running. But because I'm controlling that, iTrain knows to put power to them for when I control it with the handset. So if I just get it to move off, put the lights on. So if I get it, I am only controlling the front one, and iTrain is saying, right, the other 2 need power because they're in a train. I'm just controlling the loco at the front. So I'll just send this down a little bit, because I want to show you something else I've been messing about with. I'm just waiting for it to come round here, so now it's out of the way. There it is. There. Right, so I'll stop that. Now, if I was to just control those 3, just using the loady, so I'm just running it as a basic, say on Japan is just a DCC piece of track. It's getting the power from one block, but it's not on iTrains at all. But if I wanted to run those 3 down here, you load the 3 engines in the order, if they're going forward, who's at the front, and you would have all of the names roundabout and 3 light bulbs to turn the lights on and off individually, because it's doing like a consist on here. The consist at the moment is on iTrain, but I drive the loco at the front. And it's the same as this one here. I'm going to run that just onto the helix. So if I just go into trains and go down until the first one, because I know that's the one I'm driving. I'll just turn the light on, sorry. So that now, let me just tell iTrain I've got control of it, because what you have to do is put this automatic, it's still under iTrain. It won't do out because this is open. I believe there's a new update coming out for iTrains, and they're putting more ability to have more windows open and stuff, which will be quite handy. So if I just stop that, it always goes to semi-automatic, which means I can drive it, but it will do certain things for me. But if I just put it fully into manual, sorry for the turning around, and move this off, as you can see in the background, that train is now being driven by me. And again, iTrains knows there's 2 locos and those wagons. The wagons don't have to be in order, but they have to be the right amount and match what's on because of the size measurements. But I'm only driving the first loco, and the automatic thing, like it does in the real world, does the second one. And in this case, it's iTrain. So I'm just going to run that one out. So that'll do me. Right. Another thing I've been doing is actions. Mainly just because at the moment that's the only sound loco there is on. Now this is one of these locos with sound, what certain things work without the engine sound on. I do have some engines that have sound, and the only way you can get the horn or the bell or whatever to work, you have to have the engine sound on. Well, this one is one of those where you can have the bell or the horn working without the sound of the engine. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drive that out. I'm just going to come up to here, find the loco on here, there it is, up here, and press play. The power's going to it there, and as you can see, the loco's driving off. Now what I'm just going to do is just change this point down here, when I can get my mouse to it. Because what I've done is the horn should blow somewhere about here in the tunnel for 2 seconds, and time it gets to there, the bell should start to ring as it goes over the bridge. Now it may stop in the station, so we'll just have to wait for it. I'll just show you this one going past. Yeah, that one's stopping in the station, but isn't there yet, but will be. Don't know how long it's stopping for, because what I've done now, instead of having a fixed time, I've put a varied time in between, I think, 10 and 30 seconds. and it picks it, and it's different every time it goes on it. Eventually it'll pick one of the, you know, something's changed somewhere and I don't know why. Don't know why it did that. That's decided to use that line. Don't really want it to be going head on with that one. I know why. Just hold on. Sorry about that. I hadn't done some. It's alright taking control of them, but it knew that I had taken control of a train running through that block. So it put it onto a different block and I hadn't told it. And these will change so that one can go because that had to wait. But back to this one. So, don't know if that's actually going to stop in that block. I can't remember what I've done now. If it does, it's going to stop about now. Yeah, so coach is stopping that block as well, or intercities as that's called. So at the moment in iTrains there's 3 types of trains: an intercity, a shuttle, or goods. And again, that's on a varied time. Should be still wanting to go. So the train's going on to here, and if you listen, and that'll ring now till it gets to near the end of it. Just before it went off. Now that engine or that train and that with the locomotive on hasn't run for over 2 weeks, but because that action on iTrains is still active for that loco, it remembers that when it runs on this block to play the horn and ring the bell. And if I take it out in a year's time, if that action is active, it'll remember. And I can turn the action off, so it doesn't do it every time. So that's something else I've been relearning, because in my past videos I've shown you me doing some actions with sound, and I'll do some others in different places, blowing the horn before it goes into station platform or ringing the bell, things like that. And then there's other locos to bring, to make actions with sounds. There's actions you can do without sounds, what you make the train do. Stop and then carry on. But no, it's been good fun learning about it. So I thought I'd just share these few bits with you. And it's been very nice speaking to you and sharing what I've been up to. And I'm probably not going to do one before Christmas now, so do have a very, very nice Christmas and I hope you get lots of trains. I don't, as far as I know, I'm not getting any trains, but I am getting quite a lot of electronics because that's what I need. But if if you do get some trains, new trains, do enjoy them. And all the best for the new year. And I will speak to you in the new year. Bye for now. Bye.